Arab. How can I challenge it? You can look it up. All the academics, they have challenged it. What was that challenge and what was their outcome? What did they conclude? And they concluded, "Laysa hadha kalam al-bashar." This is not a word of human being. So now, if we have this level of conviction that this is objectively challenging the whole mankind, and Allah, in this book, He's challenging all mankind, that if you are in doubt, then produce something like it. So the challenge is on intellect. Now our intellectual faculty has been challenged. It's not anymore in blind belief. When you have this conviction, this is indeed from God, as a Muslim we submit and surrender, because we have so many objective layer of evidence that suggest that why Islam is the religion of truth and why is the religion of Abraham and Adam and Moses. So this is something I would encourage you, young brothers and sisters in humanity, to look into it, because the reality, we will all die, and when we go in the grave, we do not know what will happen. So, and then there will be a question on the day in the grave will be asked, and in the day of judgment, and Allah will ask that question. I have gifted you this life. You didn't buy the breath that you take in every second. Have you paid any bills? Should we have answered them if you don't worship? Would not. So, and then some people in the day of judgment, they will say to Allah, "Qala Rabbi irji'un," "Oh Allah, send me back, because I should have done something, but I haven't done." Allah will say, "No, time is over." So we have these lives a test. Allah mentioned in the Quran. Test will come in a different form. The meeting, the discussion that we are having, it was all planned. We're part of the plan. So it's not a coincidence. Everything.
Read the Quran before, sorry.
Yeah.
Have you read the Quran before?
No, I haven't read it. I just have a copy of it at home. My cousin is a philosopher. Well, not philosopher, he studied philosophy. So.
Are you studying philosophy as well?
No. I do psychology.
Okay, you do psychology.
I'm big on history. So again, I grew up in a Christian household in Italy. With Christian values, but I don't follow them. I don't follow a singular value. I believe my own mentality is what I need to follow, and that's it. Obviously, I don't discriminate. I don't. For me, it depends on.
So there is like, as my brother said, there is some layers of beliefs and why you should subscribe to something and why you shouldn't subscribe to something.
Of course.
So when something is saying, for example, if I say 2 + 2 = 4, and if he says 2 + 2 = 8, obviously we'll accept my claim, right? 2 + 2 = 4, because
just because it's generally
exactly, it makes sense. It makes sense, and it goes with your sound reasoning instead of going against your sound reasoning. So when we have the sound reasoning and we have an intellect, we can ask our intellect and you can get the answer. Okay, is it really 2 + 2 = 8 or 4? Then our intellect will say no, 2 + 2 = 2 should be 4, not 8, right? So when we are saying God, or when we are saying the concept of God or believing in God, in Islam and Christianity, as my brother said, there are some differences. For example, Christians claim Jesus is God, the major claim in Christianity.
Jesus is God, yes.
What do you think of that?
I believe that Jesus Christ was just someone who had values, who went around and spoke his values, just like anyone else, just like you guys are doing.
So do you accept him as a messenger of God rather than a...
I don't accept him as a messenger of God, no. But like I don't accept anybody else as a messenger of God. Because in my opinion, not that there is no God, I'm agnostic. I don't know if there's a God. And I don't my intellect does not tell me that there is a God.
Can I ask you one thing? You initially said, that's what I think liked about.
You know, religions are not the same.
No, all religions are not same, and all are not correct at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So now, do you think we should have an objective test to find the truth, or do you believe truth is subjective?
I believe the person believes into what they want to believe.
No, but I'm saying in order to establish truth.
There's something like, I am a Muslim.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing someone to become Muslim, right? Of course. They can be Christian, they can be non-Muslim, they can be agnostic. That's not our question. Our question is, when we are saying that there is God or there is no God, right? So both cannot be true at the same time.
Of course.
One should be true. If I am true, that there is God, then you are not true. Or if you are true, there is no God, and I am saying there is God, obviously I am false, right? So the contradictory statement cannot be true at the same time.
Yeah.
If the two statements we find, which is contradictory, and they are claiming two contradictory things, and they cannot be true at the same time. That's what we are saying. So when we are saying God, or when we are saying the Creator, so what do you think? How this universe come to an existence? Because as a student of psychology, I think you studied science as well,
Science,
right?
yeah.
Okay, good. So as a student of science,
The Big Bang.
Big Bang,
Yeah.
excellent. So how did the Big Bang started? Because if we say the Big Bang, so there is a starting point, right?
Of course.
There is
But
starting
how did the
point.
Big Bang start?
Yeah. So the thing is, if something is contingent, if something is dependent, starting point, because it's not eternal. So eternal means there is no start, there is no end, right? So if the universe has a starting point, so there is three possibilities. There's whether it comes from nothing, or whether it comes by itself, or something else put it to an existence, right?
Right.
Is there any other option?
No.
No. So which option do you think makes sense?
I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't.
So I think that's the fourth point. So that's the fourth point, right? And Allah talks about this is the amazing things about this argument itself, right? Quran actually demonstrates that argument. And أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم خالقون أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض بل لا يوقنون. So basically, Allah is saying those who deny this creation, they will have uncertainty within their mind. So what you have demonstrated it, Allah already tell the psychological state of the human being. So those who deny.
Yeah.
So this argument is so profound. I'll tell you why. It's not only tell about this argument itself, it also tell about those who rejected their psychology as well. That shows the one who's talking on that book, he's already aware of the psychology that we are having. So that indeed a very pondering things. Imagine if I can read your mind. That's not something easy thing, right? Now imagine if someone, so we believe the Creator holds an attribute called all-knowing.
Yeah.
So within that all-knowing meaning I know everything about you. Nothing is hidden from me.
Yeah.
All the time I'm aware of it. So the Creator that created me, so he should also know how I psychologically function, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I lie, the pattern of lie, right? All of these things.
Yeah.
How I behave with human beings, process my thought.
Yeah.
So when we look at the Quran itself, it's actually talk about the language that human being, you know, there was an amazing part of discussion happened throughout the Quran. When Prophet Muhammad asked people, those who worship in the stone and statue, he said, why do you worship those statue and stone? So they give some answer. But look at the answer. They said, we have seen our forefathers are doing it. Is that a genuine, rational answer? Would you think? Imagine if I say, why do you drink it? But you said, oh, I have seen just my forefather drinking it, that's why I drink it.
It's not rational.
It's not rational, right?
Yeah.
So the same way, so whenever any answer was given, either is rational, not rational, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you said I don't know, but I'm unsure.
Let's check the rational point.
Let's check this. So with this, أم خلقوا من غير شيء. So we see the creation exists, right? We don't have no doubt. Do we have any doubt? So this creation, can it create from nothingness? Meaning,
Can it come from
nothing means zilch, nothing there, non-existent everything.
No.
No. Then, if we eliminate this option, then we left with two options.
The creation
One-
comes from something.
Or I do not
I
know.
don't know.
No,
Right.
no. There is one option missing. Can it come by itself?
Oh, no, that's the second point anyway.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so the self-creation, like, can you give birth to yourself?
Well, no, you can't.
Why?
Because you have to exist before you exist, which is absurd,
That's
right?
basically like saying the argument of what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
It would be the same thing. But that's what my point is.
That's not.
It's similar because
No,
if
no.
you think about it, I'm not being against.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm not being against it. What my point is that we are talking about if something exists and something creates something. That means that something that has been created has to have come from something that already existed. So the Big Bang, how did it come to be about? Right? History, what science tells us, There was just a lot of matter. It was very hot. It blew up, and bang, universe. That's our Milky Way.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's others that think, oh no, God, Allah, or whatever God they believe in.
I think the whole point is, my brother. I sorry to cut you.
No, it's fine,
please,
it's fine,
please.
absolutely.
So when we look at something 14 billion years ago, nobody witnessed those accounts.
Nothing.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. So we cannot use epistemological. I mean, we cannot we cannot find something observable.
Of course.
Not empirical. We cannot find anything empiricism. Now we need to apply. When the empiricism is absent, what are the option left? We are left with.
Oh, obviously religion.
No, reason.
No.
Reason, right? Intellectual faculty, right?
Yeah.
So within the creation itself, we find some rules in it. Within the creation, we have some fundamental rules. We see in this creation nothing come from nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So therefore, it is normal thing to say, whenever I see a plastic bag or a cup, I cannot just configure myself that this come from nothing. I must know there is a maker there.
Yeah.
I cannot say this jacket is just made by itself, right? It's not just flying or blowing. Correct, right? So when we have this tendency, already normal tendency, that everything has a maker, but when it comes to universe in itself, if we apply, because we said empiricism is absent, we left only model with what? Reason. I'm not bringing revelation yet, which is supporting case and miracle, something else. Now if we reason it now, then reason give me that if I apply my standard reasoning of day-to-day life, can I use the same standard to deny there is a maker? No, absolutely not. Simple. Now, it is actually absurd if you go against that model. Do you agree?
Because the way you are saying that every human being is mortal, but I'm not mortal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You see,
This is
so
like
you're using some of the it's said the argument of deduction. When you use your deduction argument at a certain point and then you deny again in another scenario. For example, if I say all human being is mortal, obviously within the all human being, I'm a human being, right?
Yeah.
So by default, I'm immortal. Then if I say I'm not mortal, then I'm not. It doesn't make sense. So when we are saying this, every single things we can observe or we can see or we can't see, like there has something which created, there has something behind those things. By default, the universe does have someone or something who created this universe. We're not going through this very easy way. People can say, okay, you can prove anything like this. So what my approach will be, like if we don't have any other option, like nothing like come by itself, so what option we have? We have it comes from, obviously you can't say, you don't need to say Allah, you don't need to say God, you don't need to say anything else, but there has to be a source where this universe come from. Do you agree on this?
Yeah.
So therefore, if we look at the demonstration of the universe, we see this universe has power of demonstration of power.
Yeah.
Yes, weak force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. We have a lot of hydrogen, carbon dioxide, a lot of element there, right?
Yeah.
It has created, it has a lot of energy in it, different types of human beings, so many things there. All of the things signify there are a maker or a processor behind it. Like I said, if we use our rational thinking, the way we think in our daily life, we cannot change that standard when it comes to the creator. Then you would conclude on that same standard that there must be a maker. Now, if we look at the demonstration of these things, we see the power. Therefore, if you see the power, it shows that the one who created it must have a power. Imagine, I wanted to give you some money.
Wait, hold on a second, someone's calling me.
If you do have a pocket.
Swap on. Yeah, we're outside Stratford Centre. Yeah. No, wait. Okay, we'll come. Okay. Yeah. We're extremely late.
Yeah.
Gotta go down. Sorry guys, we have to cut.
Can you just give me a copy of the Quran? Do you mind?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you get me?
Yeah.
So in 1 minute I'm gonna finish it. So What we are saying is, Islam you can find it very easily if you do not change your standard, how you operate in your day-to-day life. All we say is we have to be true to ourselves first, because it's very important. Becoming true to someone else is easy, but we need to true to ourselves first, because when the things appear to us, when the message appear to us, and you can rationally look at all the model and look at the critics and what Islam has to say on it, it's up to you. And I ask God that, God guide to you guys to Islam, That's all I can say.
With one Quranic statement where it says this, Allah will guide them, or the Creator will guide them, who doesn't do zulm to themselves. Like, they don't go against their intellect. For example, look, your intellect is saying something, there is a Creator, and you are saying, oh, my professor said there is no Creator, that's why I need to follow my professor. Instead of ask yourself, like, how we came to an existence. You agreed on the sources. Think about it. Can this source exist without the power? Can this source exist without the, for example, without all-knowing? Can this source exist without having the intellectuality? Can this source exist without having the uniqueness? Without having the, like, monotheistic idea, that idea you do have? There has to be one Creator who doesn't have father, mother, or anything else which can depend or can be dependent for him. And we say this Creator is one as well, because look at the things. If he is not one, then he cannot be unique. The unique things can be one, right? Isn't it? Yeah. So what we are saying, the source of all the power, which we agreed on the source, we are saying this source is one, which is saying in the Quran, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allah is one, Allahu samad. Allah doesn't depend on anyone. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He doesn't have father or mother or anything, or children. And walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad, nothing equivalent to him. We are inviting you to have a look and ask your intellect. And
absolutely,
it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time. It was, look after yourself. Thank you. Look after yourself. Thank you. You want to go? Please make dua for them. Inshallah, they look sincere, and they are open to seeing different religions. And inshallah, please make dua for brothers and sisters in Palestine. And Ramadan Mubarak. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.